Starting.
Bye.
Okay, we're live. Hello everyone. Welcome to your Create Your Own Social Program webinar of the Exchanges Week. We're very happy to have you here with us tonight. And we hope to bring you some motivation, inspiration, or just to explain more detail about a well-run social program to you. And social programs, as we know, are extremely important because they are quite a draw to people coming on your exchange. However, we should remember that as important as they are and as fun as they aren't the most important part of an exchange, but they do help. So let me just get some introductions out of the way. So firstly, my name is Vilmi. I'm sure you know me by now from all my Facebook posts and banter directed at Oman, but I am the Scopy RA for Africa. With me in my webinar today, or this webinar today, is Tommy from part of the IT. He is our general assistant. Tommy, do you want to say hey?
Yeah, hi guys, welcome to the webinar, social program webinar, of course, held on Friday because it's, it's the beginning of the weekend. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you will enjoy it.
Cool. Then also joining us in this webinar tonight to tell you more about their amazing social programs, we have the NEOs from Egypt, two of the NEO/exchange team from the Netherlands. We have Dino from Bosnia-Herzegovina, and then we have Suleiman from Oman, and then David from Italy. So welcome guys. I think each of you can just introduce yourselves when we start your presentation. If you guys just give me a second, I'm just going to switch to screen share so I can go over to the presentation and then we can start. Woo! Okay. See. Okay. Okay, so these are all our participants. Thank you guys for being here. They're amazing. And I can't wait for you to hear more about their exchange program and their social program specifically. So firstly, I'm going to give over to Wing and Demi from the Netherlands.
Hi guys.
Hello, this is Ring from the Netherlands.
And I'm Demi from the Netherlands, and we are both NEOs and NORIs, so we work in research exchanges and professional exchanges.
Yep, and last year we were the National Social Program Coordinators in IFMZ, the Netherlands, so we wanted to tell you more about our social program here. Every year we organize 4 national social programs in the summer, 2 in July and 2 in August.
And last year we started as well with an international social program together with BVMD Germany and BEMSA Belgium, which was really a success.
Yes, and we had incomings who went for an exchange in Germany and Belgium, but they could also visit the Netherlands for a weekend with all the incomings here. And it's open for all of our incomings, basically.
Yes.
And yeah.
And we always start on Friday evening, so everyone can go to their exchange, and then in the evening they can come to a city in the Netherlands, and then we start with a social program just to get to know each other, like playing Dutch games or karaoke, that kind of stuff.
Yep. And well, we usually do a lot of cultural experience things, so they know the Dutch culture as well. We collaborate with museums, is that like that? Museums like Van Gogh, which is very famous in the Netherlands. We do kennel tours, we do city trips, we show them around.
We went to the parliament last year with a collaboration, so it was really nice. We had a tour.
And yeah, every social program is in another city, so they can explore like different cities in the Netherlands, because we're not only Amsterdam, what people like to think.
Yeah. on Sunday evening after a full weekend of with lots of fun and cultural and social things to do.
And they know about each other because every incoming in the Netherlands comes together so they get to know each other as well. Oh, that's basically your social program.
Okay, cool. Thanks, girls. Next, I am going to give over to the neos from IFMSA Egypt, and they will tell us more about their exchange program.
So, can you hear me well? I hope that. Hello, I'm Abdurrahman. I'm from Egypt, Neo-In, and on the other side, Mohammed Hakim. I'm from Egypt, Neo-Out. We are here to talk about our social program in general. Our social program is divided into 4 main weekends, and the days, like the local days, where the students spend their exchange in the cities where the students spend their exchange. So for the weekends, we usually divide the 4 weekends. There is one national social program, usually the 3rd weekend, and the other 3 are they are like the main spot. The students visit the main touristic places in Egypt, all over Egypt. Like there should be one of them in Luxor and Aswan. The other one in Cairo, and one either on the Mediterranean Sea or on the Red Sea. Sometimes we switch, like in some months, students prefer to go to the oasis in the desert. Mainly the weekends are mainly organized during the summer months, like June, July, August, and September, because we have more incoming students. This is for the main part, and Mohammed Hakim can continue, like tell you more about the national social program and this part. Hakim.
Yes.
So continue with the national social program and then the small local programs. Hello? Hello?
We can hear you.
I'm not sure about the internet with Hakim, so I guess I will continue. Regarding the national weekend, we usually have students from all over Egypt. It's usually done in the part of the Red Sea, or maybe Luxor and Aswan. It depends. Like each month we do it in a different place. Here we have some pictures from Luxor and Aswan from Cairo, from the last year programs. Yes, these are Luxor and Aswan to the right and Cairo to the left, pyramids. That's the national social program. Usually all the incoming students during this period are told about the national social program and what are we going to do in it. And they have but nearly all the incoming students attend the national social program, the social weekend. For the small local ones, it depends usually from one LC to another, but there are some basics like the visits or the touristic places to be visited in each city, like mosques or small museums. And there is also LCs do barbecue within the countryside, which is really nice. That's our social program in general. Yes, that's all of it.
Cool. Thank you so much. I think we're gonna go over to Dino to tell us a little bit more about their social program.
Hello, everyone. Hello from Bosnia and Herzegovina. So, about our social program, I would like to tell you generally about some tips how we organize social program in our NMO. So, since we have 3 LCs, each LC organizes their local activities, which are basically the same, like sightseeing, visiting to local places, and general sports activities, going out, having fun, NFDP, and stuff like that. And this year we are planning to introduce like weekly schedule for social program. So each day of the week we will have a special activity dedicated to that day. So for example, and that should I've seen other NMOs, they have something similar to that, and it's a good tip for everyone to organize social program. It can be easier for either your incoming students, but also for exchange officers and people who work with exchanges who help you organize it. So for example, on our LC in Sarajevo has their schedule, like in Monday, they can go to places where they can listen to live music, try traditional drinks, and it's all located in an old cinema place. It's very popular place in Sarajevo. They also can go to a movie night because on Monday they have a student discount, and also they can go dancing if they want in salsa day. So they call it like the Carpe Diem day. On Tuesday, it's called the BDNF day. It's dedicated to sports activities and the Olympics. So it's like kind of a different activity with reflection on Olympic spirit that was in Sarajevo. So BDNF is a brain-derived neurotrophic factor that simulates neurons to grow and makes synapses stronger and helps make depression go away. So our goal is to have a month where we can promote healthy living and implement it in our social program. On Wednesday, we have NFDP Day, which is a good idea. So each student can cook their traditional food from their country, and that day will be dedicated to this student and his or her country, where they can also tell stories about their country and promote it together with their food and drinks that they bring with them or which they cook. On Thursday would be like History Waves Day, where you can go sightseeing to visit all touristic places in your city. On Friday is the Nature Day, where students go and visit different nature-oriented places near Sarajevo, like waterfalls, ethno villages, weekend getaway places where they can have picnic, barbecue, and just relax after a week in the hospital. And every weekend there are excursions to some other cities or nearby countries. So this is like the type of weekly schedule that we are going to implement in all of our 3 LCs, and they are going to be organized by their own local activities and places to visit. And one more thing I wanted to tell you about is our international social program, which is called Balkan Weekend. We also promoted it in the activities fair at the March meeting and also in the last edition of MSI. It is an international social program, a cooperation between 3 NMOs in 3 countries, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Serbia, and Montenegro, where we organized trips and excursions in 2 weekends in July last year for our students who are coming to exchanges. So one weekend, the students from Mostar, from Bosnia-Herzegovina, went to Serbia, and they had organized stay in Belgrade. And then next weekend, 2 incomings from Belgrade arrived to visit Mostar in Bosnia and Herzegovina, and then they went to visit Montenegro. We are very proud of this project, and we also love to share this idea with other ones, so you can do it on yourself. It's a very good idea to cooperate with your neighboring NMOs and to, bring people together. So that's it about our social programs in Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Thanks, Dino. Now I'm going to give over to Suleiman from Oman, who's going to tell us more about their social program.
Hello guys, I'm Sulaiman. I'm the Neo of Mexico, Oman. And our social program is like of two types. There is the weekend social program and the midweek social program. So basically there are 4 weeks in an exchange. The first week is more like cultural type of social program. So you have in the midweek of the first week, you have the Old Souk Matrah, the Grand Mosque, and whatnot. And the weekend social program is camping. We go camping. Actually, we take our incomings and we go camping. And the funny thing about Oman, actually not funny, interesting, let's say, is that it has all like 4 terrains. It has beaches, mountains, deserts, and green. So you can just imagine each week you have each different type of climate and different type of program. So for the first week, we take them to the Al-Dakhliya province, which literally translates to the inside province, yeah, where it's surrounded by mountains, and we go up the Green Mountain, and we camp there. Oman is like a deserted country, but it's funny how up the mountain it gets really, really cold. So that's for the first week. The second week, we go to the desert. We take our 4-wheel drives, our Jeeps, our Nissans, and you know what? And we go there and we camp in the desert. So it has like its own ups and downs. It depends on what you like. Then we also have the oud sitting, and I don't know if you're familiar with the instrument. It's like traditional music, and we all gather around and do a traditional dance. So our social program is like just to give you an overview of the culture of Oman and how our diversity in short. And the final week is usually the kind of tricky one, because some people want to go see Salalah, which is the best place to go in summer, especially if you're from that area. And others want to go to Dubai, because if you didn't know this by now, Oman is literally next to Dubai. So we have people going here and there, and at the end, everyone goes where they want. And that's pretty much about it of social programs in Oman.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much. Now I think it is time for David from Italy.
Hi, everybody. I hope you can hear me well. I'm Davide from Milan, and just wanted to talk to you about the Italian social program. So Italy, as you probably know already, is a very diverse country. We have a very high number of exchanges, over 600, and we have many different local committees, meaning one thing, not two exchanges are the same. Whether you're gonna come to the south, to the north, during winter or summer, the exchanges are gonna be very different, and you're gonna have there's many different perks in both cases. So in the summer, a lot of people like going to the south, where we have amazing beaches and the weather is really warm and hot. In the winter, we also offer really good experience during December, especially during Christmas time. So people like to go to Christmas markets and go skiing. So obviously we try to help our incomings and give them the best option whenever they decide to come to our country. And also we are trying to implement from this year a national social program. Basically, we're starting small, trying to create a network of local committees which are quite close, because Italy is quite big, it's quite long, and we're trying to get incomings together from cities close by and have them visit each other during different weekends in order so that one group of incomings could show their own city around to people from other visiting other cities. This is one thing we do. Also, when we welcome our incomings, one of the things we always want to do, because all our cities are quite old, so there's lots of historical buildings, lots of historical things, and we always like to give a walk-in tour of the city, so the incomings know their whereabouts and know what to do in town and so on. One other thing we're trying to implement from this year is also new projects in order to boost our social program and make sure that the incomings also gain something medically related, and also don't just come for like fun, but we also want to improve their general experience. Some projects we're trying to implement. So, well, we have the upon arrival training, which I had the pleasure to organize for the first time last month in my own local committee. And we're also trying to do everything such as getting incomings involved with our own activities, such as clown therapy or basic surgical techniques trainings, research workshops, and so on. During the rest of the month, we organize activities both within the cities and also in neighboring locations. If you're in the north, you'll probably be able to enjoy places such as Como or Garda Lake, Venice, Genoa, and the Cinque Terre. If you're in the south, you'll probably be going to Naples, Sicily, Pompeii, and also, well, the other things we do is a lot of our incomings obviously want to make the most of the trip, and there's a lot of different cities and places they want to go. So we're trying to help them organizing trips to several cities such as Rome, Florence. In the summer, they may want to go to Sicily. In the winter, they may want to go to the Alps for skiing. And I think that's a general overview of our social program. So I'll give the word to Tommy, I think is next.
Yeah, thank you so much, David. I'm going to give over to Tommy now, who's just going to tie everything together and give you some important tips and tricks that you shouldn't forget.
Yes, thank you, Bilmy. Do we have the slides?
1 second.
Yeah, just. Okay, thank you very much. Basically, just to tie everything together and to wrap up everything we said in this webinar, I'm going to give you a few tips for organizing your social program, just things that you shouldn't forget. The perfect social program. So the first one is actually plan ahead. Like, if you actually listen to the other people's stories about their social program, experiences of their social program, and how they organize everything, they actually, especially in the case of national social program or international social program, there is the need to plan everything ahead, to concept the structures, and to have a timeline of the events and the things that are going to be organized and that are going to happen for students. So the most important thing is to have a program for your actually social program. Next, another thing, it can also be connected to planning ahead. It's also making a budget or inform people about the cost of social program. Making a budget is important if you are going to offer the social program to your students. It's very, very important to have a budget and to understand how much money you're going to spend, how much money you want to spend, and you're able to spend for the students. So for exchange officers in this case, it's also important to talk with the treasurer or help the treasurer in making a budget of your social program. Or if you're not going to pay for the social program you're going to offer, inform people about the cost of social program. Also try to keep the cost as low as possible, otherwise you risk people. You may have people refusing to take part in the social program events. Next slide. Third important tip to consider is, actually there are two things. First is this transportation. There are so many things there were so many things that have been mentioned by Leos and Neos and Noris who are present here. You can basically organize everything for your social program, any kind of thing, parties, journey to important historical cities, or visit to monuments, and stuff like that. The most important thing when you consider organizing something like that, events like that, is planning transportation, understanding if there are public transportation, if the public transportation is good, and if there are good prices for moving from town to the place where you're going to organize your event or the place you're going to visit, or if you're going to maybe organize a home party, for example. You have to know if you have enough cars, maybe, if you want to take students to the place where you're going to organize the event. And then how much time you're going to give for the events, for the visits, especially for, this is very important, especially for visits, when you're going to sightseeing, for example. Whenever you plan, for example, if you plan 1 hour of sightseeing, 2 hours or 3 hours of sightseeing, it's actually 3 hours of sightseeing if you are alone. But when you are with your incoming student, it's probably 4 or 5 hours because it takes more time. So just keep in mind that usually you should consider more time than the one you think it would be necessary for doing your event or visit. And then next slide. Don't plan. Actually, this is the opposite of what I said at the beginning, but that's also important because sometimes it's just funny and good to have just a beer or have a pizza, or just say, okay, we're going to do this tonight, or we're going to go there tonight, just deciding in the afternoon, the same. And people may want to do it, may want to join, and this is something that you can do, and it's something spontaneous, and it's very important also to be spontaneous and have fun actually with your incoming students. They are going to experience life in the host country, culture in the host country, and also spontaneous things are things that are in some cases, so it's very important. Next slide. This is the last thing. Just enjoy your social program. Have fun and enjoy it. Make the other people have fun too.
Okay. Thank you for that, Tommy. I think it was very helpful. And thank you to all our participants. Your social programs sound amazing. And I just want to go on an exchange to every single place that has been mentioned. I think we have some questions on the YouTube chat. I'm just trying to access it. Let me just see if I can get it. Okay. So I see Dino has answered a lot of the questions.
Yes, and the girls from the Netherlands also answered their questions. So I guess they're good.
Okay, so can you guys see if there are any more questions for us that we need to answer right now?
So,
or did you guys answer all the questions?
yeah, I think we did. And generally, one of the questions was, are you going to share this timeline to the incomings? And if yes, when do you believe is the appropriate time to do that? And how many days before their arrival? I answered there, but also, yes, of course, we are sharing a time plan with our incomings. And either in the guidebook or just when they arrive here, it all depends how big is the activity and how much organization in advance it requires. But generally, yes, students know which dates are going to what, especially if they are excursions, they take like 2 or 3 days. It all depends how big is the activity and how much organization in advance it requires. But generally,
Okay. Yeah, I think I just looked at some of the questions. It seems like we answered most of them. Demi, Wing, I don't know if you guys want to add something regarding the questions you received.
No, that was about it.
Okay. Does anyone else have something last maybe to add, or before we end this webinar?
No, thank you.
Okay. Tommy, anything from your side?
It's just enjoy, as I said before. Like, social program is something funny and something, but it's at the same time it's something very important. It creates bridges between people from different cultures, so it's an amazing experience. So organize a social program and have fun and enjoy it.
Yeah, I'd like to add, I think that the best thing is if you involve your incomings on a local level. Like, don't only do touristy things, because they want to know what it's like to really live in your country, to not live like a tourist in your country. And I think that's an important part, because we tend to forget, we take them to all the tourist destinations and then we don't actually show them what it's like to really be a local and what locals do and what important things are to us in our own countries. So I think that's important to remember. And it's important to remember that they just want to learn about your culture and the things you do and your people, and they want to interact with people. And I think if you keep that in mind, and you keep in mind that they don't expect something extravagant, they don't expect the best thing you can offer, they just expect to see something about your country and to go away being richer in their experiences than they were prior to the exchange. And then I think you'll be perfect. And as long as you also have fun going through these events with your incomings, I think that's also an important part. But other than that, I think that's it from our side. Thank you so much for our lovely participants. You guys were amazing. And then thank you for everyone who watched and who will watch in the future. We hope to see you for the rest of the exchange week, and we hope that you learned something, you got an idea, or you at least got some motivation to improve your own social program. But yeah, that's it from our side. I hope you enjoy the blue parties that hopefully is going on today, and that you enjoy the rest of your weekend. So bye, everyone.